Good morning. It's Sunday, 19th of July, and it's 11 o'clock. Time for the mess and our Sunday parade. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're not going to go over what's going on in the Facebook group. We're going to concentrate on our quick diorama mainly. So, yeah, I might, if I get a bit of time, I might pop over to the mess and see what's been going on. But what I'm going to do is next week we're going to do a roundup of what's been going on, everyone's progress in the diorama build, etc., etc., etc. So there we go. Cool. Anyway, I've got my cup of coffee. Quick slurp. And there we go. Put that there for now. Let's go and have a look in the comments, see what's going on. We've got technical issues. Oh, come on. Computer is not playing along. I'm saying good morning, all. Funny enough. Lewis is there, model making tracker, saying good morning. I'm here. Good to see you there. Johnny Burton's in the house, saying good morning, buddy. Morning, Johnny. Nice to see you. We've got Bob from Facebook. He's saying that sadly I have to work this afternoon. We'll catch us on the replay, so not a big problem. We've got budget modeler, which is Steph. I nearly forgot his name again. Terrible. Morning, Shaxter. Gary Hicks is in the house saying hi, Gary. Hi, James. Hi, Gary. Even a mouthful of worms. Oh, it's a new face. Paulio is saying hi from Lisbo. Cool. That's nice. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoy the show. Get involved in the chat, obviously. Malcolm saying hi. Hi, Malcolm. How are you doing? Obviously, I'm fresh out of the Models for Heroes Modeling Mess Mayhem live show. I think I got that right. I'm not sure. But yes, had a good laugh with the guys this morning. Always good. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's a bit early, but hey. So that's up with the chat. There's 13 people watching, so thank you very much. Remember to do your likes and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, please, because I don't want you to miss out on any content. Got some great stuff coming up. After today, I am finally getting to do our first interview with modelers, and the first victim, first person in the hot seat will be Tim Hedworth. It won't be live, unfortunately. I couldn't persuade him to do live, but we're going to record that after this. So that should be coming soon. So watch out for that. And then I've got some other guests all lined up. I've got a couple of celebrities that I can't name yet because I haven't got concrete 100% got them, but they are interested to come and have a chat, which is dead exciting. I can give you a little bit of a teaser. One is doing the rounds, as he always does as a comedian. And the other one is, I suppose he's still sort of a comedian, but more of a chat host. That's all the clues I'm going to give right now. But fingers crossed I can pull that off. That'd be really cool if we can. So, yeah, watch out for those. Again, I'm not sure if they're going to be live. I'm hoping to do live, but I've got to give the guys the option. So there you go. It's hot news. There you go. I've been talking about it for ages, and trying to organize it, and finally got it done. Anyway, so we're going to record the first one of that hopefully will be out in the next week or so. Don't quite know the pace of it yet, but Plastic for Two is live and will be coming soon. So anyway, enough of all that. Let's crack on to show you where we're up to. So with our cart, obviously it's here, it's all built. I've not done anything more to it yet, and the reason for that will come obvious in a moment or two. The diorama itself, I've got a bit carried away. Not on air, obviously. I've built a barn front, all out of polystyrene, and that has been treated with some wood dye. So yeah, all done. We'll show that a little bit more in a second. So what's the plan for today? Well, basically what I want to do is I want to age the wood a little bit, because obviously that's It's an ochre color right now, and it's a little bit too bright. So what I'm going to use for that is, thank you, Modeling Mayhem, I think it was, suggested this last night, and inks. I'm going to play with some inks, Winsor & Newton inks. I'm going to do that, and then the other bit I'm going to do, because I've not done that before, I've not done that, and I'm not going to do the next bit either. Oh, worms in my mouth. We're going to thatch the roof, and to do that, a pasting brush. Pick them up in a cheapo shop for £1 or so. This one I got from another DIY store, so it was a little bit more, but lots and lots there to play with. So we're going to do that too. So that's what we've got coming up in the show. So make sure you stay with me, and make sure you make some comments, ask some questions, etc., etc. Talking of questions, if you have any questions for me for Tim Hedworth, Tim Hedworth is from the British Aviation in Scale Facebook page. Please, in the mess there is a little link to do with it. Pop a question in there and I can ask him for you. There we go. So let's change over some cameras and get cracking, shall we? So there we go. Bear with me a little second, because there was something I wanted to do. Take that off. There we go. You don't need to know who I am, because you know who I am. There we go. So like I say, pop the comments in, etc., etc. That'd be great. Let's put some glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And as I said, you can see here the barn frame has been made up, both real basic bit of woodwork, all out of balsa wood, and there we go. So let's crack on. So what we're going to need for the next bit is the bits that we've got here. I've got a little bit of Winsor & Newton black ink, and a little bit of Winsor & Newton brown ink. And all we're going to do is open these up. I've got a little tub of water here as well. You can just see that in shot just here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over it again with the brown. Where can I start? It's going to be easy for you to see. There you go. So we're going to start with the brown, which is this one over here. And we're just going to add a little bit on. A little bit of water. And we're going to get our base colour on there. Darken it down a little bit. Bit of water. And so on and so forth. So the idea is that we're going to age the wood, because obviously it was a nice oak barn, but it's been sat out in the weather, and it's got obviously weathered. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over this with a bit of ink, bit of water, and so on and so forth. So how is your Sunday so far? I hope you're having a good morning. I hope you've all been fed and watered. I haven't. Been a little bit too busy doing bits and pieces, getting the wife to work and stuff like that. So like I say, this was a suggestion that was made by, I believe it was Modeling Mayhem. I hope Lewis is in the chat. If I'm wrong, please make sure you tell me, Lewis, because I'd want to give the right person the shout out. It's not something I've had inks for a while, but not something I've actually used. So it was quite exciting to think that I could use some inks on this. Now, obviously, with this, we're going to need to get into the little recesses as well. Hopefully. Come on, work with me. We'll do it live, he says. I could have done all this, couldn't I, really? So there we go. Going to take a little bit of a while. Luckily, we've got an hour or so, and like I say, I didn't want to. I did say last night in the Saturday night Creche that I might try and steal a half hour off the Fester's workshop, but I didn't think it through quick enough to remember to send them a message. So it's all good. We've got an hour. We should be able to get done what we want to get done here. And it will show you what I'm using and the way I'm using it. So that's all good. So I think with this, it may have been actually easier, certainly cheaper, to go straight with the inks onto the balsa wood instead of using the wood dye. But as I explained to someone last night, the reason I used it is because it was lying around. It wasn't doing anything anyway, so no big problem there. Just catch up on chat very, very quickly. Where are we? So, Thomas Charles in the house, and good morning, James. Run silent, run deep, indeed. And Lewis just saying celebrities, holy balance. Yes. Yeah, if we can pull it off, it's going to be a bit of a coup. We're going to enjoy that. And he's be back to the stream in a minute, Lewis, apparently. How are you today, Andy? I hope you're all right. Jumped. And he's just saying, not me. I'm only here to cause mischief. I wasn't. Oh, who was it? Oh, I can't believe I'm giving the wrong shout out to the wrong person. Never mind. It'll come to me. Skullfish is in the house. And good morning, James, and everyone in the chat. Good morning, Skullfish. We've got Scaly Models say good morning all. Hope everyone is well. Indeed, we're all good. Nice to see you. I'm going to find it really hard to keep up with this chat today. And he's just saying there he's better, Lewis. Had a decent sleep for once. Good. So that's up to date with the chat. There's 15 people watching. Make sure you say hello. Make sure you get involved in the chat. It's all part of the fun. So now I've put brown on there, obviously. I'm now going to dot a little bit of black here and there. And then with the water, with a lot of water, we're going to bring that back. Hopefully this will work because I think I've just mucked that up. No. It's all right. I have mucked it up. A bit too much ink there. That's all right though, because what we'll do is we'll give it a really liberal bit of water. Thin that black ink out over our model, our barn front, and then what we'll do is we'll grab a cotton bud, and while it's still wet, we'll draw some of that black off. And you can obviously do it in different stages, different parts, so you got a bit more of the black showing through. So I'm using an old brush, one that I don't mind getting a bit beaten up, and as you can see, we're just literally going over it really quite roughly, and then back over it with our cotton bud to allow some of that brown to come through. And a little dot of black, a little dot of black, and there we go. We're getting there slowly. So obviously the inks I'm using is a Winsor and Newton ink. I'm sure you can get other inks that are a little bit more budget orientated in the price of things, because it's not cheap. But I stick with Winsor and Newton because I like the products they do. So there you go. That's the effect you're going to get. Quite a worn thing there. So we'll move around slightly. We're going to put a bit of brown on our post. And a bit of water to thin it out as we go. inside of this as well. So guys, I want to give a shout out. I don't know if you're aware, I have posted up where I can. Obviously, one of the other pages in which I run is something for the weekend, which is aimed at model shows, getting cool model shows on and around. And obviously, there's no model shows at the moment, but there is. This weekend, there is the virtual air tattoo going on. I watched some of it yesterday. A very good show. They're putting on very good indeed. It is obviously video based, as you would expect, given it's a virtual thing. And they're going through past air shows, and there's some extra footage in there of some of the things you probably wouldn't see normally. Well worth a check out. So that starts at 12, I believe. So yeah, please make sure you check that out. Lewis has just sent me a message saying that Quano Man was the gentleman that suggested the ink. So Quano Man, thank you very much. Yes, you're quite right. I get so muddled up. Anyway, so a little bit of black ink on here again. I do hope that's all in shot. It's quite difficult to do. Obviously aged down now, wood. Not often you want to get your wood aged, is it? Let's put it that way. There you go. A little bit too aggressive, I think, there. So as you can see, it's coming along. Be lovely when it dries. Anyway, I'm going to just change this around a minute. Pull that out of the way. Because it is a little bit difficult the way I've got it going. So yeah, we're going to do our side of the barn now. Again, brown ink. Yeah, the good thing is, obviously, the more water you use, or the more you dip your brush in the water, the more the ink colours get into the water, and the more that helps you. Yeah, funny enough, there was a suggestion yesterday that I didn't think to write down who gave the suggestion, but I thought it was a cracking idea. This is what I love about the modelling community. We all share our knowledge, and we all share the little tips that we've learnt along the way, don't we? We all learn from one another, so that's pretty cool. And that makes the hobby so much more fun as well. I've got to be honest. For me, anyway. So I'll be honest. I've not done this sort of thing live before, and it's an interesting way of doing things, because you sort of rush in, sort of not, but you don't quite. Not been quite as careful as I normally might be. So there. So yeah, the balsa wood frame was made up and then just glued onto the base with a bit of super glue. Just do that. That should do it. Lovely. That gives me the coverage I want. So there we go. As you can see, it's all coming together slowly but surely. If you put ink on the brush, it will help you, James, apparently. Isn't this fun? There you go. Put a little bit of ink on and then whack it with a water obviously make your ink come through. So obviously, as you can see, we've got we're not quite getting the transfer I want through the pieces of wood onto our framework, but that's okay because we can come back at that later with a wash. So we can check that. That's not a problem. There we go. So it's all coming together slowly but surely. A bit brown. Quite a nice colour, isn't it? I don't really need to do an awful lot to that. I think it needs black. It must have been black on my brush already. So we'll leave that colour as it is. Just go up along the framework. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the outside for now, and I'll come back at the once we've done the roofing. I'll come back at the rest of it separately, because an hour will go by very, very quickly without meaning to. And plus, I want to check out the chat in a minute, because I don't want to ignore you guys, especially as you've taken the time to be with me. It would only be polite. So that colour's looking okay. And turn that round. Just going to go across the top here. Do these little bits in here because I'm not sure I'm going to get to them. Otherwise, once we've got our roof on. Okay. So there you go. We've got a nice weathered effect, and that's come out really well. So Quellerman, thank you very much for that tip. Hot tip. I like that. Excellent. Cool. So we've done that. Let's have a quick look at the chat. We're 22 minutes in already. Wow. Would you believe that? Honestly, it just goes so quickly. There you go. Modern Mayhem says staining balsa wood. Someone once told me the cheap coffee was a good way to do it. Make it up and dunk the wood in. Yes, coffee is a good way of doing it, as is tea bags. Tea bags are a good way as well. There's obviously tannin in the tea bag, so yeah, definitely a good tip too. He does say that it doesn't specify the time. It was a while ago, so college days. Wow, that was a long time ago. Did they have colleges in those days? Yeah, don't waste coffee. Use a cheap brand. Yeah, or like I say, tea bags. Once you've used them, save them up. You can use the tea leaves for your base and your diorama, and you can also use it for the staining powers as well. Festa's in the house, and howdy, folks. How's Festa? How you doing? We're all good here. What else are we? First saying hello to everybody, and everybody's hello back. And I think, and Lewis showing the level of last night, teabagging your wood. Yes, that is one way of looking at it, definitely. So 18 people watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just going to put the lids on these inks because we don't want to have any accidents, do we? Like I say, what I will do is I will go back at the wood. I will play with my wood a little bit later in the inside there to get that sorted. So let me move this out of the way. There you go. There we go. So there's the first. I've not used that's the first time I've used inks, and that has come out really, really well. Only thing I will say is I'm going to want to go over that with a little bit of a light grey, maybe just a slight dust into. Oh, you can't really see it, can you? just a slight dusting to show the aging of the wood, but it's looking all right at the moment. Cool. So onto the wood. Sorry, onto the roof roll, not me wood. Get me wood out of my mind. Before I do that very quickly, just because I want to get it out of the way, I've managed to finish my first paper model ever today. It's taken me a long time to do, but it's a hurricane, just in case you can't recognize it. Yeah, paper models, I take my hat off to anyone that makes a paper model. They are phenomenal. If you've never tried one before, give it a go. It's a bit ropey in places, the one I've done here, but yes, a definite must. Buy yourself a paper model. If you don't know where to get one, send me a PM and I will send you a link to a lovely guy that will help you. No problem at all. Cool. So that's that. That's off inch. I need that. Bit of glue. Right. So the roof. How are we going to do this roof? So like I said, we're going to use a pasting brush. Don't need the handle, obviously. Oh, don't do that. You'll break it. I'm going to unscrew the brush from its base. And you're left with that. So I could have taken this out previously, but obviously this is just glued to the base. This is where I slice my finger open and we turn into a medical program. I'm sure that's not what it was designed for, but hey, never mind. How did I know this was going to be such a pain to undo? Didn't eat my Weet-Bix this morning, clearly. So we can separate the outer edge, hopefully. There, it's coming. It's coming. There we go. Okay, so there we go. That's what we're going to use. It's going to get messy, obviously. We've got a little bit stuck here still, so we'll use that up first. A pair of cutting devices. I want to try and leave the main part like that because that will go into a sealed bag, and then I can chip away at it at my leisure. Let's us. Yeah, here we go. So we've got some nice big scissors. What we're going to do, I'm just going to cut those. Cut that off like that. And lay it down. Now, obviously, with this, you could use this for long grass in a diorama. You can buy it actually as a product specifically for this, but it's effectively the same stuff, so might as well buy yourself a brush and just cut the brush up. So here we go. We're going to go with the first again. Totally prepared, obviously. I'm trying to find the correct brush that I want to use, and I can't find it. Where's it gone? Okay. I don't really want to use that brush. Oh, this is a problem. Somebody's so busy. Right, okay, that'll do. All I want to do is just get some PVA glue, and I'm going to stick the PVA glue on our roof structure, like so. Like so. Now, the good thing about PVA is it won't go off straight away, so you've got a bit of time to play with it. What I'll do is put a little bit along the base here as well, because I need that to hold it up on me. Nice liberal bit. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to literally get hold of some of our clumps. And for the first ones, I'm actually going to use quite long pieces, like so. Oh. And I've realised already before I start that I've made a slight error in that I'm going to need PVA glue that's a little bit more watery than that. Black Rifle Model Works is in the house, so looking excellent, James. That's Luke. Thank you, mate. Nice to see you here. Everyone's saying good morning to Luke. Just gonna wipe me container. What we do is we'll water in there a little bit of H2O and a bit of PVA because we're gonna need that. Nice big glop. And I've borrowed Lewis's wooden spoon. I think Nat said she was going to get you a new one anyway, Lewis, so it's not a big problem. So that is nice and watery PVA. Just glob a little bit on as we go along, I think. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing this. But like I say, it's the first time I've done it, so oh, I know what we're doing. Right, cool. So we're going to get ourselves another clump and try and make our clumps nice and same length. Dip it into our PVA glue because then it's already got the glue on there. Spread it out a little bit. Now obviously this is a real messy technique, but it should do the trick. And once you got yourself a nice little base of the roof structure, you can then apply a little bit more watery PVA just to make sure it sticks down properly. And obviously I'm a little bit out of touch because obviously I haven't had hair for a long time, but you can come back and give it what's called a haircut, apparently. I don't know what that actually entails. Something to do with hair and scissors, I think, but we can come back to that. So anyway, like I say, the problem with this is it will get messy. You will get it everywhere. So we've got our first little bits on there. What we're going to do is pop a bit more on. Slightly higher up this time. Don't worry too much if it dribbles your PVA glue. Tidy up as you go along though is always best. So I'm going to look a little bit like a hedgehog for a bit. You wouldn't guess that I'm making this up as I go along, would you? Not at all. So yeah, we're going to put some PVA on the top here. And then dunking it in as well will help. I think part of the thing I've noticed as well, I think I said this before, but this hour goes so quickly, you wouldn't believe it. So trying to do this in a logical form is quite difficult. Anyway, you get the idea of what I'm doing here. A little bit at a time, build that roof structure up. So we've used up, oh, don't drop scissors into your lap. especially if the sharp side is not going to affect you, stab you, etc. So cut a little bit off at a time, stick it on. So when you decide to do something and you suddenly say to yourself, do you know what, I've really got to stop having these really clever ideas. Difficult. Brush, 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 brush. So what you guys got planned for this weekend? I mean, obviously we're all going to be tuning into Colin and Festa's workshop in a bit after this. I'm sure there's someone watching going, oh my God, what is he doing? I'm sure you shouldn't do it like that. Probably. But the joy is I'm making up as I go along, so it doesn't matter. Not that you can tell. Fingers and thumbs. Fingers and thumbs. Thumbs and fingers. And I just so happen to have got the worst pair of scissors ever in the world, and clearly haven't been used very often. Pop those up a bit more, There we go. So like I say, I can come back at this and give it a bit of a trim up, tidy up. I suppose actually you could potentially use hairspray to get this fixed down instead of the PVA. So after all, it's just synthetic hair, isn't it? So there you go. It's all coming together slowly but surely. Let's have a quick look on the chat. Got 20 people watching. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Who have we got? Quanaman's in the house, and good morning. How are you and the Empire doing? We're doing good. Thank you very much for the shout out of the ink yesterday. I've just used that on the wood, and yeah, a treat. Works a treat. Thank you for that. Lewis is just saying, I'm looking forward to a new wooden spoon. I can show her how to use it properly. Oh dear. He always gets himself in trouble, doesn't he? He's also just said he's just asked Paige if he can cut her hair to use for a thatch. Yeah, I'm not sure that's legal anymore, Lewis. Should be doing that. Colin's just saying that if you need more time on a Sunday, I can move back to 12:30. Yeah, do you know what? I will talk to you about it in the week. I think it's possible I will ask for that because an hour just whizzes by. I end up rushing and thinking to myself, am I doing things right and making it look like I know what I'm doing? But here you go. That's just skipped again. So modelling mayhem says, got a scram, folks. I need to help move slab. Well, enjoy your day's work anyway. Luke's just saying he's working on a cutaway model for the BMP3. Yes, I am aware of that, and the ideas that were floated past you look like there were some good options. It'd be interesting to see which one you take up. So there you go. So Lewis is just saying there that if it comes up, come on, computer, why aren't you coming up? I'm going shopping for diorama bits. I hope maybe to speak to Nat. Yeah, you're told you can't, not allowed. Inquiry manager say, yeah, do what you got to do to get the effect you want. Absolutely. See you later, modelling mayhem. We'll catch up with you soon. Paulio's just saying the camera focus is on the base, not on the roof. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a bit difficult to really show you properly exactly what's going on. So as you can see, it's a little bit of a mess, but it's just literally hair from the brush stuck on in layers. So focus is a bit of a pain in the backside. Ian Dowthwaite's in the house saying good morning. Good morning, Ian. Hope you're well. Lewis just confirmed that I always get into trouble. Yeah, apparently. Quite just saying after you get all those Brussels down, paddle of water, down code, PVA, or you could try spraying a lacquer. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think a spray, hairspray. If you decant a bit of hairspray, I think it actually be a bit easier to do. So yeah, all part of the fun, isn't it? So yeah, cool. So obviously that's going to take a little bit of time to set properly. I'm not going to go any thicker with that right now because I'm a little bit wary of the fact that we're potentially going to create some problems for ourselves, and we don't want to do that. The other side to it as well is obviously the base will get covered in hairs, so need to pick out a few bits and pieces in our base to get rid of the hairs. And obviously PVA being watered down will run everywhere, so that will need a bit of tidying up. But that's okay, it tidies up quite well and quite easily anyway. Tidy it up with a bit of a cotton bud, but we'll need that anyway at some point. So see, this is the problem. You get also excited bubble and hairs sticking to the base. Never mind. Right, cool. So you can see what I'm doing. I probably will add. Just so happens I do have some hairspray, so let's put some hairspray on there as well. Oh yes, please, Fester. Fester just saying he'll Pimpy show. pimp the show, and more people will tune in. Well, it's quite early, so yeah. Oh, is that to do? Oh no, it might be to do with Luke. 1 second, let's have a look. Have I missed something? Oh yes. No, that's okay. He's talking to Luke. Not talking to me. Yeah, loving and sharing the knowledge indeed, as it should be. Conor Man's just saying there that hairspray will dissolve with water, so you need to watch that. Yes, that's very true. That's very true indeed. Put a bit more baby in here. Yeah, I think there isn't really any other way other than to do it nice and slowly, and that's, I think, the sort of thing in which I'm saying is that obviously trying to show you guys what to do in an hour in little dip bits is difficult. There you go. So obviously, Fester's workshop. He'll be on after me at 12 o'clock. So tune in to see what him and Dave have been up to this week. And obviously something in which I'm learning as I'm going through this, if you do it in thin layers and build it up slowly, you probably will have more luck. And I'm having right now, obviously, a thatch roof. I don't want it to be super perfect. It's fine. I'd like it to look at least like it's what it's meant to. It's got some natural colour, obviously, in the synthetic hairs, but we will be adding paint on top of it as well. So that will help stick some of it down eventually too. So like I say, after this, I will be doing our first sit down and recording of our Plastic for Two. Where I interview this week will be Tim Hedworth. Any questions, pop me over a message and I shall ask them for you. No problem. See, this is a problem. Colin can relate to this because, you know, us follically challenged people don't know how to deal with hair, do we? So, there we go. So, there we go. We have managed to get our first part of our roof section on. Simple as that. A lot of tidying up. It is a very messy process, so just be aware of that. And it will need a bit of a trim up once it's set properly. So there you go. And would you believe that is the hour almost up? So let's go change the camera over. There we go. Put that up there. We don't need that anymore. So let me just show you. Oh. Forgive the hair on the base. But there we go. That is our barn with a thatched roof. A lot of tidying up to be done, and I do need to let that set for a bit. So there we go. I hope you managed to get at least some of the technique I was using. So let's have a quick look at the chat. Okay, so Festa was just how it was for me. Oh, bless your heart, Festa. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do plan instead of doing every single week something to do like an update or look over the mess. I'm going to be doing some building projects, so trying to think of bits and pieces I can do within an hour and a half is something. So and of course Festa will pimp Luke to the hilts because he's a big fan of Luke. He's a very good modeler, and he's what we're all about. We all like to bring our communities together, or most of us, and try our best to give everyone a bit of a pimp. Kind of managed just give me another little trick. A little trick I've done with PVA watered down is that a little ink in it to give it colour. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, love it. Yeah. So you could change that all round, couldn't you? I think that the way I've done it, I'm going to be lucky enough that I'm going to be able to potentially put a little bit of ink or a water wash over it to give it the colour I want. It all sticks down properly. Malcolm just saying gorgeous. I know I am, but thank you for and the thatch isn't bad either. Oh, bless you. So there we go. 19 people still watching. Thank you very much. Make sure you do the thumbs up. Like I say, we've got hopefully some exciting bits and pieces coming up, some interviews with modelers, but I'll keep you posted on that. I won't rattle on about it too much. I am pretty excited, obviously, because the potential people we've got that have agreed to do it, but I just haven't got the date. So I'm a little bit apprehensive. I don't want it to fall through. So anyway, there we go. So a little bit of thatch, a little bit of woodwork, or as Lewis would like to say, thatch your wood. I'll give you a spoon back. Anyway, on that note, I think this would be a fairly simple time to bid you all farewell. Give you time to go and get a cup of coffee and jump in over at Festa. Model Works for his show starts at 12 o'clock. And like I said, remember that the virtual air tattoo has been on this weekend. You can catch up with it at a later date, so don't miss out on any live content, but they are doing it live today as well. So on that note, from me, bye-bye. Ta-ta for now.